What are the risks of DIY home restoration?
A lot of it is, especially on a restoration loss, if you're trying to take it on yourself, you just don't know all the steps. You don't know how to get a proper scope with your insurance. You may not have the technology to check and understand where maybe water has traveled, where you need to get a moisture meter out or a FLIR camera or something like that. Most people just don't have that and they don't know that they need it. And so they could just be going in covering up stuff that's still wet and not really know it because it might be down underneath. So that's one of the biggest ones is people think it's not a big loss, and so they'll just take care of it themselves, and they might be covering up stuff that might be a problem later.
What are common challenges in home restoration projects?
You can run into a varying different amount of challenges. One of the first ones might be just getting the insurance scope to agree with the scope of what you feel like the work needs to be done. Just getting that defined is a little bit of a challenge. If the homeowner's working or living in the home and maybe they have small kids, that can be a challenge because we're building containment and stuff like that in the home if they're still staying in it. And so you kind of run into little different challenges all throughout the process, but that's a couple of them.
What to do if you find asbestos during home restoration?
First thing you should do is stop. You want to get somebody in, do proper testing. Most likely your home will need to be abated. Sometimes it's just a small area. Sometimes it's a big chunk of the interior of the home that would have to be abated, depending on how much damage is done that you're working on. Maybe it's just a vinyl floor or glue that they used or something like that years ago. And so it can be small, but you still want to get it abated by a properly certified abatement company.
Can home restoration services help with mold removal?
Yes, they can definitely help with mold removal, and that kinda goes back into the training as well, having people that are properly trained on how to identify and treat the mold, and in some cases, remove it or treat it and seal it in place, and then cover it with sealer and paint, but we can definitely help with, mold removal.